Good morning. Good Thursday morning. This is Thursday, February 29th. I am a Black beauty. Um, this is New York City, was one of the best cities in the world. I got my chops in the city. I'm going to speak so honestly this morning because I'm mad as hell. I want to know something. Mayor Adams, Mayor Adams, you need to explain to us why you have our people sleeping in the streets. I'm going to start with a small and short anecdote from last night. I went to the BBSN, the Black Business Social Network event last night. A very nice event put on in a place called La Mode, Brooklyn, owned by a West Indian man that we all know very well in this community. I want to say that I had a great event last night. It was absolutely wonderful. We met great people, good Black people in the city. I was taken aback when I called my Uber and I got into the car and the lady who was driving, number one, it was a woman. It was at night. So I was surprised to see that, which is fine. Number two, it was a obviously undocumented woman. Obviously, you could tell that she had not lived in this country for a long time. She was of a certain hue. She looked a certain way. And I could tell that this was not her country. She picked me up in a very clean car last night and took me to my event and barely knew where she was going, didn't know where she was driving, didn't understand anything, didn't know how to conduct herself with customer service. I had to explain to her the levanta la ventana, por favor. Raise the window, please, because it's cold. Are you stupid? I had to explain to her that she needs to put me en frente del lugar. Please take the car al radador and put me in front of the place. I had to speak to her in her own lenguaje last night, and I was pissed. I live in Brooklyn. I moved to Brooklyn because I grew up in the Bronx, and I didn't want to be on the Grand Concourse with a bunch of guasas for my entire life. Huh? That's why I moved to Brooklyn. So I'm trying to understand why, when I'm spending my hard-earned money that I make in this city that is heavily taxed, that when I am going out in my community to celebrate Black business, that I have to be driven around by this chica that has no papers, no documentation, and doesn't know where she's going. Who gave her a car? Who gave her a license? And who gave her the authority to be driving us Black business people around in our own neighborhoods? And she doesn't even know where she's going. You don't even know where you're going. De donde corriendo. You don't even know where you're going. And you're driving us around in our city and you don't even know how to communicate, but it's a good thing I speak four languages, right? It's called being a New Yorker and having intelligence. So I'm here to ask Mr. Mayor Adams, a Black man from East New York, what is going on in the city and why can't my people get help in this city? And when I say my people, let me be very, very clear. I mean the people that look like me. I mean my West African people from Cote d'Ivoire, from Senegal, from Mauritius, from my people from Nigeria, my people from Ghana, eh? My people from Guinea, mm? My people from Gambia. Why can't they get help in this city? But then I have a guasa who doesn't even know where she's going, driving me around in my own borough where I pay my heart. Listen, if I'm gonna pay something to any undocumented person, let them look like me. Mm? All I see is churches that look like Black churches, Black American churches, servicing and helping these guasaguasas. And what you're going to tell me now is that the one businessman, one of few businessmen in this city, a West African man, yes? And we're going to get his name just now. I'm going to play the clip. What you're telling me is that he, as a business person who has multiple businesses that are functioning and paying taxes in this city, cannot assist people from his own background with a place to sleep while you have these guasaguasas in shelters hurting police officers that look like me. By the way, the police officers that are getting attacked in this Randall Island facility I'm about to show you, they look like me. They're Black with a bunch of la gente surrounding them, throwing things at them. I dare and I beg say that if these were some Irish white boys from the north of the Bronx, guns would have been ablazing inside of that place. And I'm trying to understand, Mr. Mayor Adams, why is it only the black men's shelter that is getting shut down in this city? Y'all, let me go ahead and play some footage because I'm sure you think that I'm just venting today. Mhm. But I haven't been on this channel in a while. Mhm. So I'm just going to show you. Let me show you, right? Let me just, let me show you. Let me just show you guys. Okay. Because it's absolutely insane. Let me know if you all can hear.
Shocking discovery in Queens. Dozens of migrants found living in the basement of a furniture store.
Very concerning here. It comes as Mayor Eric Adams issues some choice words for these migrants, bad acting migrants, taking advantage of New York City's hospitality. Fox 5's Robert Moses is in South Richmond Hill with the very latest. Robert, what's going on?
Dan and Tishani, as you alluded to, it appears as though this store was housing far more than furniture. It was housing dozens and dozens of humans, so many, in fact, that they had to sleep in shifts. The mayor says the city moved quickly to address the issue. His patience, though, for the problems that have arrived at the city's doorstep is wearing thin.
I just want to say, before we go further with this news clip, Mayor Adams' patience is running thin now that the few Black African people were found in a makeshift shelter in a Black man's business. I mean, your patience wasn't running thin when those Venezuelans were throwing things at the Black police officers in Randall Island. It wasn't running thin then. I'm just wondering, and you know, when they say bad acting migrants, I'm wondering, ¿quién es el mal? Who are the bad acting migrants? Because all I see is Black African men delivering food, trying to do their business in this place. And I see a bunch of Venezuelan immigrants who don't belong here. We're not calling them migrants. They are what they are. They're illegal immigrants who don't belong here from Venezuela, the prisons. El sucia de la piso, the dirtiest on the floor under my feet. But yet they can be in this city. I want to continue.
They didn't give due process to the person that they shot or punched or killed.
Mayor Eric Adams reiterated his belief that migrants who are suspected of committing serious crimes should be deported.
There's some people that feels that they should be able to remain here, keep doing their actions until they eventually convicted. I don't subscribe to that theory.
The mayor says he thinks the city should communicate with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, but because New York is a sanctuary city, it does not. The mayor spoke shortly after news broke that dozens of migrants have been living in this furniture store on Liberty Avenue in South Richmond Hill, Queens. City officials issued a vacate order for the building after neighbors complained.
I see bikes in the back. That's when I got alarmed.
I'm going to give sis the credit because I understand what she means by seeing bikes in the back. You see the bikes in the back, I understand that part because even I had an Airbnb guest stay in our place. My landlord does Airbnb in one of the buildings I stay in. And they were charging through the window their e-bike. And I let my landlord know immediately because we know those e-bikes have problems. We know those lithium ion batteries are having combustion issues. It's been going on for the past 2-3 years in New York. What's up, Rico? He said manufactured chaos, runaway immigrant, also happened during late stage Roman Empire. Okay, well, we'll talk about that later. I'm not talking about the Roman Empire, Rico. Thank you. I'm talking about the Black African people. I don't talk about Roman empires because I'm not concerned with anything that a Roman got to do. I don't care about it. The only empires I talk about are that of the Mansa Musa. That's all. I don't care about what Romans do. We can go on with that. Now, like I said, I I understand the e-bike thing, but I just want to understand, why do these men have to sleep in the street?
I can see
This is
we're
2
just
nights
giving
ago.
out some jackets to the guys.
Ibu Sar, the owner of the furniture business, shared this video of what the living conditions inside looked like. He is himself a West African immigrant, like many of the 74 men he says he was housing. He says
right.
he was simply trying to help them.
Get on their feet. So that was the intention. They're all working. Yeah, I'm proud of them.
City officials.
Mr. Ebusar, thank you so much. We are proud of you. A real Black man who understands the task, who understands what our job is as Black people in this city, who built this city, honestly. If it weren't for people like my grandmother coming up from the South in the 40s and 50s to contribute and be the workhorse in this city, if it weren't for the Black Jamaicans that came here to help improve upon the stock market in this city, if it weren't for the Black bodies that were sold on Wall Street to help build the financial capital in this city wouldn't be half of what it is. I wouldn't even stay here if it didn't have that legacy. Any city I go to in this country, I don't feel comfortable. I feel very comfortable in New York because I know what we put, and we deserve to be here. I know what we put in here as Black people. We deserve to be here. So at the end of the day, I don't understand why Mr. Ebusar, a tax-paying West African man with a business, cannot help his people. And I'll also let you know, you see those conditions? I didn't think those conditions were that bad. When I show you the conditions of the other shelter in Randall's Island, you're going to be like, how do people sleep like this? Listen, Mr. Ebusar had beds laid out for everyone. Huh? Like a sleepaway camp. It was nice and comfortable, probably warm in there. How come he can't do that? But you're letting people open up their homes to these guasa-guasas so that they can get tax credits. How come Mr. Ebusar cannot open up the bottom of his furniture business and use old mattresses to help his people? Huh? I'm trying to understand, Mayor Adams. Who are you with? Are you with the Jewish people? Are you with the Venezuelan people, the Colombian and the Ecuadorian people? Or are you with the West African Black people that you go back home to every year when you go to Ghana? Are you with us? Or are you with them? That's my question.
Responded to the building shortly before President Joe Biden met with the 4 top congressional leaders at the White House. House Speaker Mike Johnson called on the president to address the ever-escalating border crisis.
The first priority of the country is...
I don't care about this. Next. Let me show you guys some more. Let me show you guys some more. Huh? Let me show you. Hold on. Let me show you guys another. I'm gonna show you guys. Okay. We showed you that one. I want to show you. So that was 2 nights ago. That was on Tuesday night that they broke up that furniture store that Mr. Ebusar had they say 74, but I have a feeling it wasn't 74. Like they said, they slept in shifts. I don't see why that's a problem. That's how they do it when they have the Black African people in Dubai. They got to sleep in shifts to work. What is the problem? What is the problem? It looked clean in there. It looked comfortable in there. I don't understand. Now, I want to show you guys this other footage here of what happened last night when they found out that Mr. Ebusar actually has another store, because he is a multiple business owner. He has another business in the Bronx, a cell phone store, where he had about 30 people sleeping downstairs, West Africans. This happened on Wednesday night. Now I want to show you what happened on Wednesday night. Or was it Tuesday? I don't know. One of them was one night, I think. This is Thursday morning. So on Tuesday night, they came into the cell store. On Monday, they came into the furniture store. Let me just show you guys.
We're going to start with some breaking news right now. For the second day in a row, a second illegal migrant shelter has been discovered, but this time it was in the Bronx.
Fox 8's Kendall Green is live at the scene in Fordham Heights. So, Kendall, what can you tell us tonight?
Hey, I want to just let you guys know I grew up on the Grand Concourse, Bedford Park Boulevard. Fordham is a place where African people have been forever. I used to go to the African market with my grandmother every Friday. We would go and we would walk to the fruit market owned by the fruit market, let me not lie, was owned by Chinese. The fruit market on Fordham and the Grand Concourse is owned by Chinese. And then we would walk down, and I love a Chinese person. That's a fact. And then we would walk down to Webster Avenue and Fordham Road, and there was an open market, just like in West Africa, like you would see, with peppermint tea, sarsaparilla tea, Kokomeka tea, Havana tea, different types of herbs that could heal our body. We could go and get them weighed out like we were in a market in West Africa from West African people, women and men's hands that would put it in little paper bags for us. And just, we would go home with the best herbs. My grandma would wash her hair with them. We would drink them and keep healthy. I was astonished as I grew up and I saw that market had been dispersed for bullshit stores and a horrible train station. Like it never happened. Like the West African market was some kind of phantom that never happened. Where did that market go? Where? Where did the market with all of the good herbs and all of the things that we use, the hibiscus tea, everything that we use to keep ourselves beautiful and healthy? Because when you look around this place, most people are very unhealthy in New York. There's not enough sunlight for us. There's not enough good food for us here. Just a bunch of people playing with ingredients and sauces and shit in the restaurants, killing us. What happened to that open market that was run by the West Africans? Huh? I guess I need to go back and ask one of the old mayors, huh? Giuliani, maybe? Okay, let's keep going. This is on Tuesday night.
All right, good evening, Natasha, Bianca. Since we've been here, we've seen several individuals going in and out of this facility, lugging their luggage, taking some personal items out of there. I'm going to step out just so you can see where this police officer is, just beyond this blue tent. That's where this shelter has been. And if you look closely, you can actually see some beds inside. But this is what we know from the Department of Buildings preliminary report so far. And inspectors were called to 305 East Kingsbridge Road after receiving reports.
If you know the Bronx, then you know Kingsbridge. The Kingsbridge is Fordham, then Kingsbridge, then Bedford Park. That's my area. That's where I grew up. Yeah, a place that has traditionally always had West Africans doing business, very good business, providing good products to people. The same thing that the Asian people were doing on Canal Street. They were doing it up there with real products, nothing fake. Just trying to make a good living for themselves so they can send back money to Cote d'Ivoire, to Senegal. Most of them are from there. I'm sorry, if I'm a Black African person who had to walk 4 months, 3 months to get in this country, I don't think I want to sleep in a shelter when I can just help myself pay a couple hundred and sleep in a nice, comfortable bed with my people that speak my language and cook my food. I don't know. And I'm sure if they're anything like West Africans, like we know they are, I'm sure there's a West African lady who stops by 2-3 times a day with food that she cooks to sell for cheap. It's called group economics, self-governance, and determination. That's what it's called. And I want to ask Mr. Mayor Adams why we can't do this while they have all of these migrants and these other shelters killing people. Why should my West African people subject themselves to these guasaguasas killing each other when they have their own businesses and they're set up? Why should they have to go through that, Mayor Adams? And why are they sleeping on the street in 30 degrees when they come from West Africa? Why? It's cold outside and they have a businessman on ground who can help them. Can someone explain to me what the is going on in the city? Explain.
Of an illegal conversion of a 2-story commercial building. Now, officials arrived to find the building had been converted into housing quarters for migrants. They went in and found 34 beds on the first floor.
I'm going to tell you how this is disingenuous because there's no such thing of a 2-floor, and I know that area. Fordham Heights, Kingsbridge, 2-floor commercial? No, it's called mixed use. Meaning I have the right to use my first floor for retail and my second floor. I was a real estate agent for a while in this city. Remember that, Mr. Adams? You've met me on the street several times when I was working for Fillmore. I've met you on the street several times, shook your hand. We were doing real estate deals out here. That's called mixed use. Don't allow these people to do the words and semantics. That is not a commercial building. That's a mixed-use building where the first floor is commercial and the second floor can be whatever the hell you want it to be, including a shelter for your people with some beds. What is the problem?
At 11 beds in a cellar, tightly packed together. Now, plenty of concerns for safety hazards as well. Inspectors on scene.
Wow, 11 beds tightly packed together. So they should go to the shelter on Randall's Island and be packed together with 111 beds. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Found extension cords, e-bikes, space heaters, and hot plates inside of the facility. And as a result, they issued a vacate order due to hazardous, life-threatening conditions, lack of natural light and ventilation, and severe.
Hey, let me ask something. If that was the case, why didn't they just ask them to kindly remove their e-bikes to the street and create some kind of system where they can tie up the e-bikes with with chains and stuff like that and keep them out in the cold in the street? How come, first of all, they need their e-bikes to work. They need their e-bikes to work because you're not giving them cars so they can drive us around. They're giving these little Venezuelan ladies cars and they don't even know where the hell they're going to drive us around. Us black people are driving around with these weird people from Venezuela and Ecuador. Meanwhile, the African men that used to drive me around since I grew up in this city, it was nothing but Africans and Indians from Africa. Seriously, Indians that were born in Africa and Africans. They were the only ones that were cab drivers here. Now all of a sudden I gotta pay a Venezuelan lady that doesn't know where the hell she's going. She wanna give me an attitude en su lenguaje, but it doesn't matter because I tell you what it is. And yes, I did report her. I gave her 1 star. I felt very unsafe in her car last night. I will be asking for a refund. Thank you, Uber. I put a task to Uber to stop employing these people and allowing them to use your platform. I put a task to Uber to make, if you're gonna make anyone be accountable, I want you to ask them for their identificación that shows that they are de este país. And if they're not, they shouldn't be able to drive on the platform, Uber. And Mayor Adams, please explain something to me. Why can't my black people, 11 people, sleep next to each other in a man's mixed-use business building? Why? I want to understand.
Overcrowding. Now, the DOB issued 2 violations for the corporate landlord, SARS Essential Palace and Juice Bar Incorporated, for failure to maintain the building and for occupying.
Hold on, what they said? They said SARS Incorporated? Mr. Abu Sar, congratulations for being an American. He knows how to get business done. That man is incorporated. That man paid taxes. That man is a businessman. All right? You're not going to make that man look like he's somebody who he isn't. He's a businessman doing exactly what this city has asked and tasked us to do, assisting the migrants.
The building contrary to city records. Now, we spoke to individuals living inside who tell us that they actually paid rent to live here, $300 per month, we're told.
Hold on. Because Miss Black Beauty was just about to get a house in Cambria Heights, and I was just about to charge people $300 and $400 a week to live on a bed, because I'm about to get rich off these migrants. What's he doing so wrong? $300 is nothing. 3 times 4, that's $1,200 a month. There's not one place in this place where you could get a $1,200 a month room. Why is that a problem? I don't think that's too much. If they're driving, let's do a little calculation, because I do love math. You know, Africans are good at math. Unlike these other people, they don't know nothing. All they know is how to clean floor. Africans actually know how to do math. Now, if I show you, if a person's driving e-bike and they make minimum wage and minimum of, let's say they make less than minimum wage. Let's say they drive e-bike and they make what is equivalent to $10 an hour, which is less than minimum now. 10 times, let's say they probably do it more than 40 hours. Let's say they do it 55 hours a week. That's 550 for 1 week times 4 weeks. That's $2,200. And if he's only paying $300 a week, that's $1,200 he's paying, then he has a surplus of $1,000 that he can use to better his situation in this place. I'm trying to understand, is this not group economics? Is there something wrong that we're doing here? $300 is not a lot. And I'm sure his storefront costs a lot more than like $3,000 a month. So if he's got 11 beds by $1,200, so $1,200, this is Mr. Abelstar, times 11 beds, he's only making $13,000, and I'm sure his storefront is about, and I'm going to go based off of another storefront I'm familiar with, $5,500. Let's say. Then he's only making a $7,000 profit, which is not much because I'm sure he has to pay electricity. So we're going to take off $1,700 for electricity to let it run. Now he's making $6,000, and then also he's going to have to kick back some taxes times 0.4 minus 6,000. So after taxes, this is all that Mr. Ebusar is taking home. He's not getting filthy rich by helping his people, but there's nothing wrong with empowering yourself while you help your people. Why is that a problem, Mr. Eric Adams? Explain.
and all to find themselves without a place to lay their heads tonight.
No help, living house, no house, no nothing.
So you don't know where you're going to stay tonight?
Yes.
Hey, Channel 5, where's the fucking French translator from my Africans, huh? You always have somebody translating la lenguaje. La lenguaje. Haciendo lenguaje, hablando lenguaje. You have a bunch of translators for these Venezuelans. Where is my French translators? Where are my people? Where are my Caribbean people? From Martinique, from St. Lucia, from Haiti, that could translate this man. Don't make this man look like a dummy. This man came to this country for better oportunidad también. Give him somebody he could speak to. Stop making him look like a boy in this country. I'm serious.
Now, this is the second time this week the Department of Building had to issue.
Does that look so bad, y'all? It looked like West African people doing what they do. Group economics and community. It look all right in there. It don't look so bad to me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
A vacate order just yesterday. The DOB issued SARS wholesale furniture in Queens to be vacated due to overcrowding and hazardous fire trap conditions. Now, city inspectors, they found the building's first floor commercial den with space in the cellar that had been converted into sleeping quarters with 14 bunk beds and 13 beds on both floors, able to fit about 40 people. Now, we're told that the Department of Buildings is, the city is actually have officials coming here to help get some of these migrants to shelters, but where they go from here still remains unknown. And as far as charges or anything, it's still unclear if the landlord of this building will face charges for housing the migrants. But that's the latest here from Fordham Heights. Kendall Green, Fox 5 News. Back to you.
I'm feeling this is
what? Face charges? Face charges? Face charges for what? For helping his own people? I'm trying to understand. Why do we even continue to give back to this country as Blacks? We need to take all of our capital and relocate to West Africa. Because if we can't allow our people here to be helped, then we need to go back home and help our people. Because ultimately, what they've just shown us is that we have no importance here. And guess what? Black Americans, Blacks from New York, we are these people. We are the same people. My daddy is a Black Hausa Jamaican man who had to immigrate from St. Anne, Jamaica in here. My family on my grandmother's side are Black American people that were taken from their lands through Tripoli, from North Africa, from North Nigeria, were taken through Tripoli. My ivory tusk. Brought here to work. Now we actually want to work and do things and contribute. And what you're telling us is we don't have a place here. I say we take our capital and leave this place completely. Leave New York for the Guasaguasas. Leave this country for the rest of these gente. And get out of here. I'm telling you, West Africa is better than this place. This place is cold. Food is trash. People are unhappy. Look, they just slashed. Someone just got slashed. One of the train conductors just got slashed last night. I'm sure by an Ecuadorian. I said it. Yeah, I said it. Que lo que? Huh? Please, let me share another one with you guys. Because I want to show you la diferencia, right? I want to show you the difference between them and what's going on with the migrants, the Ecuadorians, and the Guasas. I want to show you what's going on with them. Hold on. Let me show you the difference. Okay? We just showed you some West African men who were sleeping and doing business and trying to make a living. Now I'm going to show you. Is it this one? Illegal immigrants attack NYPD cops. Share. I'm going to show you this one now. Where are the Blacks? Eh? Where are the Blacks? Where are the Africans? Where are the Africans? Randall's Island shelter with hundreds of beds and not one African in there who could get a bed to sleep on. And look at the 3 Black people, or 2, at least it's 1 Black man and That might be a Hispanic man, and then a black woman. NYPD, who are getting attacked by all of these gente. Yeah, I speak your language, but I'm not you, and I'll never be you, and I don't want to be you. That's why I left the Bronx. I don't want to be y'all. Please. My African history is rich. My African roots are rich. I'm trying to understand. I don't see not one cama, not one bed with an African, not one African person causing a commotion in this Randall's Island facility that they built up for these people with heat and hot water and everything. But they're attacking the black lady and the black men who are coming there to help them. But yet they have to ask these migrants, these other people that are sleeping in Mr. Starr's business, these other West Africans, they have to ask the migrants in Mr. Starr's business to leave and sleep in the street while they got these people comfortable attacking other black people in this city. I don't care that she's a cop. She's a black woman. I don't care that he's a cop. He's a black cop. And I'm telling you, when I was living in the Bronx and it was nothing but Irish boys at the 50th precinct specifically, I'm talking about my own neighborhood. You couldn't raise a hand to one of them. They'd have you on the floor so quick. You could have been a black child. You'd have been dead. I don't understand why her gun's not blazing. I'd have shot every last one of these people. These gente. Now let me commence. Let me commence. Look at her. You want to draw for her gun so badly. Yes, I get you. I don't get you. Gente. Look at these gente desorganizado. Disorganized people. Sucia. Dirty people. Nasty. Look at them. You want my black sisters and my black brothers. Look at this African man right here. The NYPD. You want them to defend themselves against these people, but then you're going to shut down Mr. Starr's business where he's helping out African migrants who need opportunities in this city? Mayor Adams, you have something to tell the people this morning. You have something to tell us this morning. Because what I'm saying to all my black business people, you know, all of us that work in corporate America, that fill up the seats of these buildings where they dragged us back to this place so that they could pay for their corporate rents to Vernado and all these other real estate investment trusts where we have to pay our corporate rent. So now we have to be dragged back from West Africa where we were comfortable with our laptops to come and work here. You dragged us back here so you could keep your buildings open. And all they're going to do is convert it to corporate housing anyway. They're just going to convert all those buildings to low-income condos anyway, because they're leaving. Everybody's going to Tampa, Austin. Everybody's going to Plano, Texas. It doesn't matter. Goldman Sachs, I had a good interview with them over the summer. They asked me, could I come to Plano, Texas? I said, hell no. Hell no. Hell no, I don't give a damn. I'm not going to no fucking Plano, Texas to work at Goldman. I don't care about it. If it's not Goldman in New York City, I'm not working. Not there. So what I'm telling you is, how come it's our people? I don't care. I don't care what you people say. You could clearly see the difference. Look at these nasty people. Nasty. How come y'all didn't tell me that you couldn't hear me too good? I mean, I know you've heard me a little bit because my voice is particularly loud today. But I had to turn my microphone on. I hope you can hear a little bit better. But you see the gente? Do you see any black African people throwing things at the police there? And everybody has cell phones. But yet we have to, let me take you back. Because I'm trying to understand it myself. I'm just trying to understand. Let me take you back to, I want to understand why the migrants in the furniture store have to go through what they're going through. I don't particularly find that it's fair. Do you? I don't particularly find that it's a fair situation. Let me share this one. Let me share this one right here.
officers in Times Square. It happened about 8:30
Oh,
Saturday
another
night.
one.
You can see
The
those
hentai.
officers trying to disperse a
The
group.
hentai,
They
you
then
see
try to arrest someone in that group. And that's when the mob attacks the officers.
Hey, NYPD, what's up? What's the point of the weapon if you're not going to use it? I know if that was a black man, they'd have been shot. What's the point of the weapon if you're not going to use it? Shoot these motherfuckers. I'm serious. I don't care. Put them down like you did all the other kids in this city. Put them down. Yeah. I was in su país. I was in Mexico. That shit is garbage. Shit is trash. That country is trash. Sorry to say. I would never live there. I know a couple black people who think they live comfortable in Mexico. I would say you live more comfortable in West Africa. That's a fact. I've been to su país. Please. Please. Let me tell you something. I want to know, why is that okay? And I want to find that one clip where the black man says, it's only us. It's only our housing arrangements that are being disturbed by the city. Let me find that. Let me find the thing that says, with the guy that was just Fox 5 NY. I want to find the cell phone store migrants. And I want to find that one clip that came out. I think this might be it. Yes, I think this is it. Let me see if I can.
Housing up to 74 of those men from West Africa. But today they were telling me that they felt sick after this raid last night by building inspectors who forced them to vacate this building, claiming it was more than unsafe. Malik Diaye came back to his home today. SARS Wholesale Furniture has been home for Malik for the past 2 months. Last night, he slept on a subway platform.
We don't know.
How dare they? Malik, I'm so sorry, honey. I am so sorry. How dare they? How dare they?
Where we sleep today?
Malik was one of at least 74 men vacated from this store last night by FDNY inspectors. He and the others staying here are all from West Africa, invited to live here by store owner Ibu Sar.
Look at Mr. Ibu Sar, a real businessman. What's wrong with him? Why is it not okay for him to help his people, Mayor Adams?
Sar simply says he was trying to help these asylum seekers, allowing them to live rent-free.
Get on their feet. So that was the intention.
But the FDNY and the Department of Buildings claims this was anything but safe. In the basement of this furniture store, there were dozens of beds and bunk beds, no ventilation, no access to natural light. This cell phone video shows what it looked like one morning.
It looks safer than that facility where they were attacking the police.
As the men were apparently waking up. Fire inspectors responded last night to weeks of complaints from at least one neighbor who declined to show her face on camera. She claims that e-bikes and e-batteries were being illegally stored in the building's backyard area.
All over the news, you see that these e-bikes are exploding and they lighten up the whole block. Like nobody's safety he was concerned about.
Mayor Eric Adams addressed the migrant housing crisis, calling it a desperate situation he can't fix alone.
We have to build more. And when you
talk about building more, are you going to give the contract to some black businesses so they can build some facilities? Who's going to be able to build in this city? Because traditionally, in Brooklyn, the majority of the building contracts you gave out were to Hasidic Jews, and other Jewish people. Who gets the building contracts when we build more? Who? Who is it, Mr. Adams? I'm asking the obvious questions, right? I'm a Pan-Africanist, a Black revolutionary, so I don't give a damn about nobody else but my Black people. I'm trying to understand who's going to be able to build We did. I know Anton a couple weeks ago covered a Chinese lady who can open up her home to migrants and get paid by the government. Where is that program? I was on the website last night trying to find it. Where is that program? Where's the information for that program so that my Black business owners and my Black landlords can take advantage of that program? The information has not been laid out to us, but there's a bunch of Asian people benefiting. I have nothing against my Asian people. You know how much I love my Asian people. Nothing against them. They've always employed me. They've always been good to me. But they should be able to get, we should be able to get, as Africans and West Indians and Black Americans, we should be able to get the opportunity as well. Because if Mr. Ebusar can't open up his shop because it's illegal and it's considered commercial, then let some of us Black landlords, I bet Mr. Ebusar has 3 or 4 houses he could open up. Where's the kickback from the federal government that can assist him in doing that? Can you provide the information to him, please? That's all I'm asking, Mr. Adams. Something.
Have a failure to have vacancy rates. I think we're down to 1%. If that failure is going to produce desperate situations.
The vacate order is still up as building inspectors were back at the furniture store today, questioning
yes.
other neighbors.
My brother. Sir. Yes, sir. Black excellence.
About suspicious activity. As for Malik, all he has is his backpack and the clothes he's wearing, with nowhere to go. It may very well be another night on the subway platform.
Where do you go now? Where do you go from?
We don't know. We don't know. It's very difficult.
Now, the landlord of this building has been hit with 2 violations. The furniture store is allowed to stay open, but those migrants are not allowed back here. They have been moved, we're told, to a shelter in the Bronx. But Malik tells me it's safer on the subway platform. We're live in the South Richmond Hill section of Queens. Richard Giacobas, Fox 5 News. Steve Natasha.
Yeah, no easy answers there.
Okay, well, you know, on the news they had a clip and there was a Black. He looked like he might have been Haitian. He sounded Haitian. In his English sounded Haitian. He was saying, well, how come it's only us? And I agree. How come it's only us that they're forcing us to go into this shelter system with these people that don't look like us, don't speak our language, filthy, they don't have the same customs as us. Everybody knows Africans had to teach people how to bathe in the history of the world. We don't have time to be with la gente, dirty ass gente. Listen, I'm out. Don't ever say a Black beauty doesn't care about her people. That's all I care about. I don't have time. I don't have time. It's Lent. I haven't smoked since February 13th. I'm on one. In my honest opinion, the elite are using la gente to create a buffer class to undermine Black people. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But they forget that this place is already full of excellent Black people. Okay, Mr. Ebusar knows the difference. Mr. Ebusar knows Black excellence. He knows that we're excellent. Yes, Mr. Ebusar? Yes, Mr. Ebusar, Black excellence? Oh, please. I beg. You know what we need to do? We need to find a place in America and all of us Black people that actually give a damn about our community. You know, like the Black Americans with sense, the West Africans with sense, the Caribbeans with sense. We need to go and build up that place. Maybe it's New Orleans. That's where my grandmother's from. Well, that's where she was from in American history. Maybe we go down there and build that up. The same way the Nigerians built up certain parts of Texas and certain parts of Atlanta, we need to go down to some parts and create some more spots for us Black excellent people. Because I just don't think, first of all, it's too cold up here. This shit is crazy. Stuffio, it's too cold. And to be honest with you, it's really not benefiting us. And we're paying too many taxes to be here. If they want to, listen, if La Gente want to pay these taxes, let them stay here. It's disgusting. Last night I was so upset and I took my money back too. I did not want to be driven by that lady. I felt very unsafe. She was dirty. She smelled. She didn't have no kind of sense and she didn't know what she was doing. And she was giving me attitude and I just wanted to kick her in the face. But I know better. I can't be violent. See, that's the Fulani in me. Right? That's the Fulani blood rolling through my body. I just wanted to just kick her in the face. And I said, oh my God, have some compassion. for la gente. I'll just take my money back instead. I will not support this city if they continue to treat West Africans like this. Mayor Eric Adams, please don't see me on the street. I be in a lot of places you be. Last time we were on the street, I approached you specifically. Don't make me see you on the streets. I will approach you and we will have this conversation. I want to understand, is this not the place for us? And if that's the case, why do you continue to govern over the city? Quit your job and show us the way. Show us the pathway to Ghana, since you got the line anyway. We out. A Black Beauty. Peace.